Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Seeing is believing, and you're not going to believe how bright and vivid the colors are on the Samsung Neo QLED and OLED TVs powered by the Neural Quantum Processor. Because this is an audio ad. Unless you can see it, which means you already have one. Nice. Samsung. More wow than ever.
How about Mondays? I hate Mondays. Mondays are the worst.
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. No, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Welcome to the Monday Weekly Recap episode.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
On today's episode, Big Drewski and Casper break down all of the college football action from all of the games and events from this past weekend. Today's episode is sponsored by the Depot Printhouse, www.staycating.com, and True Tennessean Clothing Company. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave the boys a review, because again, I can't stress this enough, but they have literally no clue what they are doing.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Let's get on into today's show. And as always, have a happy Monday.
Giggity.
All right, here they come.
Welcome, baby, to the Little Tangerine Show. If you have not already, click like, click subscribe, share with your friends. We are pre-recording this, I guess you could say. But some of you guys may or may not be watching this on the Little Tangerine Show Facebook page, as well as a few other places. So feel free to chime in on the conversation. If you're watching this later or whatever, comment, leave us, messages, whatever. We'll come back and read them. We'll highlight some of them. I am Big Drewski. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host.
What up? My name's Casper. Casper, the co-host.
Was a good and bad weekend here in Rocky Top Country. It was good in the form of basketball.
Let's talk about that. I like that idea.
Yeah. Our basketball team beat Wisconsin. Good on them. That was a pretty big win. So all is good and great in the world of, Tennessee sports. We're just going to stop right there. Nothing else happened.
We'll see y'all next week. Let's go beat Georgia.
Yeah, if you hadn't already, click like, if only it was that easy. Tennessee Vols, they beat Wisconsin in basketball 80-70. It was a great win. Meshack had, 4 points. I don't know. I'm stalling. I don't want to talk about this MIZZOU thing. First off, shout out to all of the great fans of the MIZZOU Tigers. Got to chat with quite a few of y'all over the weekend. I put out a video on the old Ticker Talker. Casper, I just, honest to God, I didn't even know what to say. I just was like, man, we said so many nice things about y'all all year. Ozark is like one of my top 5 favorite shows ever. I mean,
I dump on Ozark?
No, but it's in MIZZOU. I'm like, why did y'all have to beat my team so bad? Like, we did nothing.
Are we to that now, or do we want to talk about that later?
We'll talk about it later. Let's talk about the rest of sports before I, bring me and Casper on the brink of alcoholic, abuse again. Old Jimbo Fisher was fired. So there is that. After how many years? No, this is his second year, ain't it?
It ain't long. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a good thing to talk about. Okay, Jimbo Fisher, reportedly fired by Texas A&M. He will receive a quote unquote record buyout of approximately $76 million. I'm trying to find. I do think it's 2 years. Is that right?
I'm pulling it up.
No, it's not. Fisher his record was 45-25 in 6 seasons at A&M. He signed a 10-year contract with $95 million guaranteed in 2021. It's 2 years off the new contract. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. I knew 2 years from something.
Correct. So it looks like they will owe him $19.2 million within 60 days. They have to pay him $7.2 annually through 2031.
Oh, more like, well, I'm not even going to mispronounce that one. I was about to say that they're paying him one way or another. But yeah, that's pretty rough.
Well, Jimbo can effectively retire now and just go live on the beach somewhere and not have to work. If I'm him, I'd take the Coach O road in this situation. I guess. So this is what I want to ask you about the whole Jimbo thing. So obviously they're paying him this money.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, does he deserve to be fired? What are they going to do better than Jimbo Fisher? You know what the rumor is, right? You know what they're talking about. You know what's trending on X right now as we record the show, right?
They're talking about wanting to bring in a Lanning, is what I've seen.
Oh, no, it's worse than Lanning.
Oh, Lord. What? Kiffin?
Brick by brick.
No! Butch Jones?
Dead serious.
You've got to be joking.
On X.
The one that he's just like kneeled down crying on the field, like 73-0 first week, wasn't it? First week, second week. Oh, Arkansas State.
He wants to take the fake UT to hell too, I guess. Or that's Texas A&M. It's Butch Jones can't coach in the SEC. Anybody that thinks that's smoking crack, I just want that to be known.
The highest
that's a problem, and you need help.
The biggest accomplishment that Butch Jones ever had was, coaching the Kelsey brothers, and he actually kicked Travis Kelsey off the team. So he almost screwed that one up as well. Kelsey was a quarterback, I think, too. At the time, it was weird.
He's just a stud. I don't know what else to tell you about Travis Kelsey. He's an absolute stud, and
Swifties.
He's got Taylor Swift.
In his tenure at Texas A&M, 2018, 9-4, 19, 8-5, 9-1, 8-4. Then last year, 5-7, 6-4. Other than the last two, they're still above 500 right now.
I guess they're just at that point, like, man, got to do it,
Crapper, get off the pot.
I guess it feels. Whenever I see these firings worth that much money, I really question, so what are you going to do now? Who are you going to go get that's really going to be better?
Well, the other thing is, dude, no disrespect, but you're Texas A&M. Besides Johnny Football, what have y'all done and what are y'all going to do now that Texas is coming to the SEC? The only thing they had going for them was that they were, the only team in Texas in the SEC. They don't even have that anymore.
Yeah, truthfully, they got
male cheerleaders. What are they going to do?
I think part of this is actually you're making jokes, but I think part of the reason they're firing him is to try to stay relevant with Texas coming to the SEC. They have to do good. Their whole point of coming to the SEC was to try to get out from Texas's shadow. If they suck, Texas having a great year. They got to do something. Otherwise, they're going back to where they were in the Big 12,
Their last division title was 2010. That was in their previous division. I believe that was the Big 12. The last division title was 2010. Before that, 98, 97. They've claimed 3 national titles, but I guess I don't understand it. Of course, speaking of that, there's a bunch of Vols fans that's, apparently wanting to fire Heupel as well.
Oh, God.
I don't know if this is an SEC thing or what, but I'm not saying Jimbo was the second coming of, in my opinion, they never should have got rid of what was his name? Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah. He was a decent coach.
He was doing pretty. I
Evan
think they should have
Tillman,
gave
he's
him
a
more
good
time.
coach.
If anything, they've cursed themselves by getting rid of him because, I mean, granted, he had Manziel, I'm pretty sure, but, like, I mean, he wasn't a bad coach, though, but I don't know. Texas A&M, you know, the Vols may screw up a lot, primarily when visiting Columbia in November, apparently, whether it's South Carolina or Mizzou. But as far as like our athletics program, I feel like it's pretty decent. Texas A&M is just a dumpster fire right now. But speaking of dumpster fires, we're going to move into one of my personal favorite segments. It's a little segment I like to call the Dumbass Comment of the Week.
It's time for one of Big Drewski and Casper's favorite segments, called the Dumbass Comment of the Week.
Way to go, a-hole!
Hey! So, unfortunately, like I said, the Tennessee Vols faithful is they're at it again, Casper. I don't know how much of this you've seen. I've caught a lot of it on the lives. But it's pretty ignorant. I'm going to pull up the coveted dumbass comment of the week.
I don't want to see this. I don't.
You're going to.
God have mercy.
I say onked we. I think they meant to say once or possibly onced. I say once we as a fan base realize the village idiot ain't the answer. We hire Jimbo away from whatever television contract he has and get him on the hill. For the record, he's referring to Coach Heupel as the village idiot. Apparently, he's not the answer, and we should hire Jimbo Fit. Now, this is some ultimate dumbassery here, Casper, because this is dumbassery on multiple levels. Not only should we fire Heupel, but we should hire Jimbo and get him on the hill. This is a actual quote that I've screenshotted. It's debatable. I should maybe not protect these people's privacy, but I like to because I'm not an a-hole. But I mean, is there any more definition of a dumbass comment than that?
No,
like, not only should we fire Heupel, but let's hire Jimbo.
No, I mean, it's funny, and I know I kind of put you on the spot asking about Jimbo earlier there. Do you realize that earlier in the year I told you, well, like I think it might have been when we were doing our like pick show, and I kind of said, look, Jimbo just doesn't have it. I mean, and then you reminded me that he did win a natty at Florida State, right?
Which most people forget.
Yeah. Well, because he's been he hasn't been bad at Texas A&M. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about why Texas A&M sucks, why LSU sucks, why Auburn sucks. What other SEC West teams are? Mississippi State, Ole Miss. If you have to play Bama every year, you got to play LSU every year. That's not a job you want to have. Is that a job? That's not a job I want to have.
Be pretty dang good.
I mean, it's not even really his fight. You play in the SEC West, you're going to get run over.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty crappy situation. There's no doubt about it.
Look, we play him too every year. We play Bama every year and get blown out. I mean, Nick Saban is a football god. You're not going to go in his half of his conference and win. Like, you're just not. Sorry. Is that too much truth for this little tangerine show?
No, I mean, you're not wrong. For those of you that's watching the video, again, if you want to watch these, follow the Little Tangerine Show on Facebook. I've got his records. Obviously, he's way better at Florida State, 83-23. Did have the one natty. I think that was with the old famous Jameis there. And then at Texas A&M, he's not been bad, not been great, 45-25. I mean, a lot of people would kill for something like that. I think to me, the main stat, and I don't know if I can highlight that, but 27-21 in conference play. But yeah, I mean, dude, you're in the SEC West, which, to be fair, starting next year, I'm pretty sure we're not going to have. I don't think we're going to have divisions, so it's going to be a little.
Not sure about that yet.
I thought I heard that we're not going to have divisions, but I mean, either way, if we don't have in my opinion, I think they should have at least let him finish this out and just see where he goes. I mean, there's I don't have Texas A&M's schedule pulled up right now, but there's like 2, maybe 3 games Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. But
Everybody's got 2 games. 2 games.
Yeah. I think they should have let him finish it out and just see where it goes. To me, I don't 100% approve of the Jimbo Fisher fire. But the other thing, too, is like, didn't they just win? Like, they fired him after a win. I think they beat Mississippi State this past week.
So my whole thing, if they're firing him right now and not letting him finish, I assume that means they've got somebody they're trying to hire and they're trying to get that done now, tomorrow. In this NIL transfer portal day, these guys that are pissed off this weekend because their season's now over are looking for somewhere to go today. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, so they got a game against Abilene Christian, which they should win. That's at home. And then their final game is Texas A&M on the road at LSU Tigers. So they're 5-4 right now, 6-4. I think 5-4. So they have a potential of maybe going 7-5. I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of unwarranted. But yeah, no. Getting back to Josh Heupel, I think it's pretty ignorant to get rid of the best coach that we've had in the last
Fulmer.
I mean, since Fulmer, yeah. I mean, some people would maybe say Kiffin, but I mean, hell, he coached here for a year and then ran off in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it may be, but he wasn't here long enough to say that. In my opinion, yeah.
Yeah. You know, he promised us, you know, a lot of things and then delivered on none of them. But, you know, Josh Heupel, I'm pulling up his coaching record currently. But, yeah, I mean, he's currently 25-11 at Tennessee, 13-9 in conference play. Career total, 53-19. I mean, you know, the first year, which in my opinion, I think the most underrated thing that Heupel's done so far, and I'd be curious to see your take on this, but in my opinion, the underrated thing that he's done is went 7-6 in his first year with all the recruits that he lost. You know, top.
He got here. I mean, I was happy that was a winning season. I can't even call that a disappointment, honestly.
Well, I know. I think that's one of the most underrated things. I mean, granted, he went 4-4 in conference play, but I mean, 7-6 first year. Went to the Music City Bowl and lost. That one sucked. But I mean, and then turns around, goes 11-2 in the second year, which was massively outperformed expectations. Now the Vols are sitting there with a chance of going 8-4, maybe 9-3 again. I mean, even if we drop these next 2 games, we're 7-5, which is not great. But I mean, you know, it's.
If we drop the game to Vandy, don't come to this show the day after. You won't want me on here if we lose to Vandy because I don't like this guy. But
it'll be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and the thing is,
if you want to have an issue with somebody else, maybe me and you might have an issue with somebody else. But Josh Heupel, no, Josh Heupel's the shit. I want to keep him. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no issues with Josh Heupel. You know, I've got no issues with what the only things, in my opinion, there's been some questionable play calling, which I've talked about all year long. Which there's still a lot of Tennessee Vols fans that are not even aware that we lost our offensive coordinator, Alex Golish. Like, there's still people floating around that think he's still here. And they're like, I don't understand why we suck. And they're like, that's part of the reason why a lot of people's wanting to blame Joe Milton, is because they just flat out don't know that we don't even have the same offensive coordinator.
You
but
hate it when we act like the ignorant people that ESPN makes us out to be, don't you? It bothers me real bad.
It's pretty bad because, like, it is accurate, and that's why I think a lot of people say that we're like their favorite Tennessee Vols fans because we're like actually level-headed and not ignorant. But yeah, I mean, you know, like obviously if we drop a game to Vandy, that's going to be just absolutely disgusting. And like you said, probably not the show that you want to be on after that. But a lot of people expected us to just waltz in there and beat Mizzou like we did Kentucky. And me and you've been trying to tell everybody, dude, like Mizzou is good now. They're not like that same pancake team that they used to be. They're actually good.
Look, that guy is solid. I know they lost to Georgia pretty handily, but look, and me and you were on here criticizing Georgia for their schedule, and they're gonna not play anybody. Guess what? Georgia's played people, and they've won. And I expect to see them win again next week too. So I mean, like that'll be 4 ranked teams for them this year. They beat, right? I mean,
right?
How are we gonna knock that? I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing to beat Georgia, which I still think is possible. It would be amazing. It would be amazing to beat Georgia and then turn around and beat Vandy. And then that would put us at 9-3 still. I mean, we could technically still go 9-3, which that would be awesome. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a lot of Tennessee Vols fans, man, we're in that mode where, again, we outperformed, so everybody got their hopes up. This year, the problem with Tennessee fans is they automatically expect to level up the following season. So everybody expected us to be in the playoffs this upcoming season. Like, that was the legitimate expectation. And obviously we didn't hit that, but we also outperformed last year. But yeah, it's
a quarterback coming into this year to realistically expect that, I think. And I think look, I'm a Joe Milton supporter, always have been. I'm not asking to bring Nico in because Nico's not the guy either for us to play. We just don't have one, right?
Not this year. And that's what I was about to queue up. A lot of people are saying, okay, it's officially Nico time. A lot of people's also saying we need to fire Heupel, fire the defensive coordinator, which in my opinion is ludicrous. Fire the offensive coordinator, which, okay, I can see. I think we got to give him more than a year, but I can see that one. I'm like, okay.
You're talking about the same guy that had 267 yards of passing yesterday?
What, you talking about the offensive coordinator?
I'm talking about Milton.
Yeah. No, everybody wants to blame Milton for everything. But, dude, me and you saw Nico live in the flesh against UConn.
He looked like a freshman.
And we both were like, I wanted to see more than what we seen. But, I mean, dude, everybody's like, it's Nico time. No. I mean, dude, like, he's 7 for 14, 97 yards, 50% completions, 1 touchdown. He got sacked 1 time, but he's thrown the ball 14 times. Of those 14, 7 were complete. 1 was a touchdown, but me and you seen him in person. I mean, there were some overthrows, there's some inaccurate issues. And again, I'm not talking smack about him. I think, next year he's going to be good to go. But like you said, we're talking about a guy in Joe Milton who, in my opinion, played pretty good. Yes, and there's a lot of people, and, Casper, I know you don't see a lot of the comments and stuff, but there's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't want to hear nothing about his accuracy. Completion percentage ain't everything. Okay. I mean, but it matters. Like,
I mean, so those guys, those ones that generally say that, then followed up with, all we do is throw screens and slants. Guess what? Does Joe Milton call the plays?
No, which that's another thing. They're like, I get so sick and tired of hearing about he don't call the play. Yeah, obviously Joe Milton can call checkdowns and stuff, but
I don't know. I don't think they've really turned that over to him from what I see. I don't see them out here letting him drive the offense like they did Hendon Hooker.
Now here's another question that was posed on the internet, but is Joe Milton not allowed to call the check downs because the coordinator doesn't have they don't have the confidence in Milton? Or does he not call the checkdowns because he has confidence in the coordinator, however you want to look at it. But Joe, I mean, dude, like even yesterday, the start of the second half, Joe Milton pitched it to Jalen Wright. He had his hands up and it hit him right in the chest on a pitch. And then Jalen Wright's like looking at him like, bro, like, what else do you want? Like, I don't know. But like, again, I'm not saying that Milton's played perfect, but I also am like, dude, I don't understand why everybody's just blaming him for everything. There's been so many times he's hit guys right in the hands. Yeah, he's underthrown some, he's overthrown some, but
they've dropped. I mean, was that play you were describing? Is that what happened at the end of the first half?
That was the start of the second half. We come out, fumbled the ball, and then for some reason we decided, or no, I think he got sacked on the first play. Something happened. Maybe it was a fumble. And then we turned around and decided to run for it on like 2nd and 14, which I was like, wait, what? Like,
sorry,
I've been saying.
So I was trying my best, but I think I was getting food right around halftime.
Yeah, it was literally like we fumbled the pitch, then we ran it on 2nd and 16, and then it was like, okay, wait, what are we doing? It was one of the worst. But there's several times, man, and the fumble he had, he fumbled it, trying to make a throw or whatever. I mean, but so I don't know. I mean, we'll go ahead and get on into the game, I guess.
We're in it already, so
but. So unless you're under rock, MIZZOU, they won 36-7. It was one of the worst just outings that I've seen. I mean, this is like the first time I think they said in Heupel's tenure or something that he only scored 7 points or something. I don't remember the exact stat they talked about, but it was just a very, very bad outing. And it was one of those things where, now Casper was at a wedding, so he was kind of having to watch sort of in passing, but it was just one of those.
I'm glad I wasn't sitting at home watching this. Just to be honest with you.
We couldn't do nothing. I mean, we literally.
That's what I'm saying. So, I watched this game with no sound, and I still haven't really. I mean, I just drove home. I hadn't really had time to watch anything, but like. My reaction from what I saw with silence, because I was in the wedding, so like at the reception, and like we had it on the phone pulled up, like it just couldn't do nothing right. Like do nothing right, like nothing. That's what it looked.
I mean,
like. Nothing.
That's basically the best summary, really. Yeah, I mean, literally, there was absolutely nothing that we could do.
I mean, that one dude ran. I mean, good God, bro.
I mean, dude, Schrader was their running back. He was in the entire game, dude. I don't know if how many people really paid attention to that, but
35 carries in one game
in the entire. I mean, I think they played the other running back maybe 4 times. Like, I'm not even joking. He literally played the entire game, and all we heard about was Luther Burden III, who was number 3. Their receiver. But, dude, Cody Schrader, and I mean, you quoted my infamous quote last week. We always take average people and make them look like just absolute studs. I'm not saying Cody Schrader was like average by any means.
No,
but we made him look like freaking prime Derrick Henry, NFL Derrick Henry against like high schoolers. Cody Schrader had 35 carries, 205 yards rushing. He averaged basically 6 yards per carry and had 1 rushing touchdown. Now, that's not all. Okay. He also caught the ball 5 times for 116 yards, 23.2 yards, or average 23.2 yards per catch. So he had a total of
321 yards by himself.
Yeah. And all we heard was about Brady Cook, this and that. I mean, Brady Cook played great, 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That was really probably, besides the play where Thornton got hurt on that the only touchdown that we had, the only points we had that day. The interception was probably the highlight of the game for the Vols. But, I mean, dude, they absolutely did whatever they wanted. And it wasn't even just that. The other thing, too, was, I mean, they had freaking, I don't even know. Let's see. So we turned the ball over 3 times. We had 2 fumbles, 1 interception thrown, which was just I was sitting back watching, like, dude, if we keep trying to throw these, and you've heard me say it all year, dude, when we start playing SEC teams, these little outs and
I could have picked that ball off, dude. I knew. I mean,
slants. I'm like, I've said it all year, but like, dude, if we keep throwing those against SEC teams, they're going to be pick sixes. I'm actually glad that we've not had that much in the way of that through the year, which, I mean, Milton's been pretty accurate at times. But for me, the other thing was we had 9 penalties for 95 yards. A lot of Vols fans were talking about the penalties. I mean, for me, it kind of is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was one-sided or whatever. I mean, we couldn't stop Cody Schrader. It don't matter what the refs were doing. But yeah, we had 15 first downs. They had 26. Our total yards was 350. Now, Heupel was calling the plays yesterday. That's what the announcer said. So we went with the hurry up again, which was effective at times. We moved the ball pretty well, but then it was like a combination of, if we didn't turn the ball over, we were getting dumb penalties, late hit out of bounds, just dumb penalties, dude. And again, even the announcer said it, but this stat right here is the main one that, me and Casper talked about on the last show. The Vols had 83 rushing yards.
Oh, God. Oh, it hurts.
83, dude. I mean, we had the ball for 20 minutes of that game. Some of that was because of the hurry up, but, I know we said on the last episode, dude, you got to run the ball if you want to win the game, at least as far as the Vols go. If we don't get 225, we don't win the game. Like, it is kind of that simple. Milton played great. At one point, he was like 14-17, I think, around halftime or something. But total, he had 22, or he was 22 for 34, 267 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He played, I mean, good. It wasn't, like I said, I don't think we could really blame Milton for this. Keaton actually showed up, played pretty good. Dante Thornton while he was in there, he was effective, at least on the one play, but it was just, and again, I'm not like talking bad about MIZZOU or anything, but I mean, dude, like they did whatever they wanted. And it was, we couldn't do anything right, man. Like, we just couldn't do anything right. Everything we touched turned to crap. I mean,
we can stop HIV, Iowa. A person living with and being treated for HIV can take 1 pill a day to protect their own health and prevent HIV from passing to sexual partners.
We call it U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable.
Visit StopHIVIowa.org.
It was so hard to watch.
Interesting that Heupel is calling the plays. I'm curious to see what happens with that going forward, because anyways, curious to see about that. That's one of those things I did not get to pick up because I wasn't listening. I'd be curious to listen to his show if I could find it taped.
Usually I think it airs Sunday.
Yeah, I could probably find it. I'll probably try to go listen to it. But
well, obviously he must have tried to call the plays, I guess, because of our offensive inconsistencies. Now, I don't know when he took over the play calling. That's just what they said on the broadcast, that he was calling the plays.
Yeah. So I got a couple comments on that, though. So if he's calling the plays and we only scored 7 points, clearly he don't need to be calling the plays. And we really need to go out and pay somebody to do our offense. Like, we need
yes and no. I thought Milton looked better than what I've seen in the past. The passing looked great. The issue is just, man, it was literally like, and again, I know you said you wasn't listening to the game, you were watching it, but like every time we had momentum, we would either have a dumbass penalty that would stall our drive. Somebody would get hurt, or we would fumble or turn the ball over or do something stupid or get sacked or whatever it was. It was like every time we had something going, we would mess up. And the thing is, with this game, with 3 turnovers, dude, the first quarter, I think we had the ball. I don't think we touched the ball in the first quarter or something. It was something ignorant. Like, I think we kicked the ball off, and then I think we might have touched it for I'd have to pull up the stat, but I think we had the ball less than like a minute or two on that. I think we had one drive in the first quarter that was a 3 and out, and we were going hurry up. So we took like virtually no time off the clock. So they had the ball the entire first quarter. So then the second quarter, you're like, okay, it's nothing. By the end of the second quarter, it's 7-13, and you're like, okay, But the problem was every time we made a mistake, when they would get the ball back, they had the ball for like freaking 5, 10, whatever,
That's
7, 8.
When you let somebody run the ball,
yes,
all day. That's our move, and we let them have our move. We said on here last week we had to run the ball, and guess what? They ran the ball.
Yeah,
we lost.
But I mean, it was literally like we would get the ball, we would do something stupid. We'd get sacked or get penalties or whatever. I don't know how many 3 and outs we had or anything like that, but we punted the ball maybe the most that we have all season, I feel like. We punted the ball 6 times. Jackson Ross averaged 43.7 yards per punt. He punted for 262 yards. I mean, we punted, but I mean, that was the thing, dude. Every time they got the ball, we just didn't get the ball back for like 7-8 minutes at a time. And then we would get it, and then we would do something stupid. And I think there was like 3, at one point, there was like 3 possessions in a row where we punted twice, fumbled once. But yeah, it was bad. And every time I'm like, oh, dude, we cannot give them the ball back.
Possessed the ball for 39 minutes and 56 seconds. We possessed the ball for 20 minutes, 4 seconds.
And like I said, I think we had a 3 and out in the first quarter, and it was all them the rest of the time. And then we got the ball back at second half, and you're like, okay, so it's 13-7. We can do this. And then fumble first play on a speed what am I trying to say? Speed option. Milton goes to pitch. It literally hits Jalen in the chest, falls to the ground. Thank God Cooper Mays, who probably shouldn't have been over that far anyways, but he saved it. And then we run the ball on 2nd down and 14, get stuffed, and then it's like 3rd and 800 years. I don't know. It was and then we're punting the ball, and I'm like, oh, I mean, so. By the end of the third quarter, we still had it somewhat manageable. It was 22-7. You're like, okay, that's not great, but we can score pretty quick. But the problem was, man, we had these dumb plays, 3 and out, 6 and 7 and out, whatever, and we took like 30 seconds off the clock, and then they get the ball back for 7 minutes. It just, I mean, you can't win a ball game like that. So
no.
My question to you is, after this game, pros and cons.
There's no pros and cons to discuss here. We've already been over it. This game was the ugliest game we played all year. I did a little stat checking. The last time that we scored 7 points was in 2020 on October 17th against Bama. When the season we went 3-10, or 3-9. I apologize.
It's a rough year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think there's any pros and cons here. We've got to get the offense thing figured out. This year, as far as playing competitive football games go, is fairly well over with. We're got Georgia. We're going to get dog stomped, and it is what it is. We're going to be 8-4.
So I want to pose to you a crazy thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I already know where this is going, but
would it not be?
Yes, it would.
The Vols thing in the world.
I said this sitting at the table at the wedding, and I decided I wasn't going to talk about it on the show, but since you bring it up.
I'm bringing it up. Would it not be the Vols thing for us to go and lose to MIZZOU, ruin our season, and then turn around, beat Georgia, ruin their season for no real reason whatsoever? Like, when we have no shot of going to the SEC championship, probably not going to even make a good bowl game. Hell, if it's at the Music City Bowl, me and you are going to probably be able to drive over there and watch them, and maybe even pay less than what we would pay at Neyland. But, would that not be the Vols? Like, I actually legitimately think Don't crucify me. I legitimately think that we may beat Georgia this upcoming week only because that's just how it goes, dude. I mean, I legitimately, I'm not going to put numbers on it, but I actually feel, I don't know why, but I feel ridiculously confident that we may actually beat Georgia just because it would be like,
So, yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm not, that's what I said. That'd be some stuff we do. Here's the thing. We have a 14, is it 14 now? Game home win streak since the Vols letters came back up.
Yes.
We are a different team at home than we are on the road.
Yes.
That's because our team feeds off the energy pretty well.
Yes.
Georgia, however, is going to be the best team that we have played this year. Maybe Bama's better. We'll find out when they play each other. It would be the Volsiest Vols things to do. I'll give you that. Last time we beat Georgia was what, 2016, I believe.
2000.
Josh Dobbs, Alvin Kamara,
for some reason I was thinking
Jennings.
19, but yeah, I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, we finished 8-4 that season too, and went to Music City Bowl. So, if we lose, we're going back to the Music City Bowl, probably to play Carolina.
We really would probably drive to that game.
I probably would want to go to that, yeah. But man, I don't. It's whatever.
I'm just saying,
we're either going to go 8-4, we're going to go 9-3. And I told you at the beginning of the year, I would be happy with 9-3, and 8-4 is going to be a little bit of a letdown, but it is what it is.
The way this season has gone, to be honest with you, I'm slightly relieved that it would only be 8-4.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
I mean, and we could still lose to Vanderbilt. Don't get me wrong.
That
would be the most Volsiest Vols thing to do, would be to beat Georgia and then lose to Vanderbilt. That would really just, top the cake off. But,
I mean, at that point, I would just be like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to switch teams, but I mean, maybe I would have a close second after that. I really don't know. But I don't know. One good thing is we hit the lock of the week.
We did.
Yay!
Hold on. I need to say one more thing about the game. So this is something I want to talk about. So I wore this hat and this tee on purpose today. I'm a fan, and the world's going to go on. So all you idiots out there apparently say we need to fire Josh Heupel. I hadn't met any of you yet, and if I meet some this week. Anyways, look,
I mean,
I love all the rest of my Tennessee fans out there. Hey, it's football, and I know that Neyland Stadium is going to be as loud as ever when Georgia comes down next week. Don't you?
It's going to be ridiculously loud.
And that's
feel
one
free
thing
to
that I
send us
do
free
love
tickets
about being a part of this fan base and wearing orange. So go Vols! All right, now back to the lock of the week. Sorry.
Yes, I'm with you. Go Vols, no matter what, all day, every day. I mean, it is what it is. Thankfully, I guess maybe from where I've started going to church more, I don't know. Last year, when we lost South Carolina, that was a low point because I just was like, my God, this was it. We're never going to do it again.
Yeah.
It's never, like, this was supposed to be. And, this year, I'm like, I was just sitting there watching that game, shaking my head. Now, I will say when we were done, I somehow, Casper, I don't know how, but I mustered up the cojones to still go live. And I had a good time.
You probably got the best live you had because people were trying to make fun of you.
People try, but I kill them with kindness. But
I will tell you this, and I was going to tell you this off the record, but it'll be funnier if somebody hears this. Next football season, me and her family, we ain't going out of town doing a damn thing. Nothing. Last year, South Carolina. This year, wedding. Not happening on a football game. Last year, we were on that stupid train in the way to North Carolina. I am not doing anything with her family during football season and us playing out of town. It's not happening.
Suck it, Mrs. Casper's family. I mean, hell, I went down to Florida the week that we played Florida. So I mean,
maybe it's your fault. What I did,
it might be my fault. I don't know if you can't probably see the logo, but I was trying to find this shirt. This is my Lucky True Tennessean shirt.
Yeah.
And I could not find it, so I threw on the other one that's got the Tennessee with the tri-star in the middle. I was trying to, so it could be my fault. I couldn't find my tri-star or my True Tennessean shirt, but we did hit the lock of the week though. We got that back on track. Colorado, Arizona over 55.5. That was my pick. Casper picked Duke plus 14.5. I wish I would have taken that one instead of. I think I ended up taking like plus 28 or something stupid. But Colorado plus 10.5. All three of those hit. So yay!
Yep.
Casper sleeping on the sound effects, but
sorry, I'm pretty much done with sound effects for the year. I can't find them over here. I've got too much of a mess. I haven't cleaned out my garage since we started the season.
So
I can't even hardly walk in here.
So today's episode is going to be, on to what's T Fitty's word of the week or the year?
Addiction.
No, what do you do? Yes, so today's going to be Intervention Monday. I guess it's going to be the start of, I don't know, contemplation. I guess, but
you gotta go chase them dogs. Look, here's the thing: if anybody on the football team, which you're not going to, but just this is what everybody needs to understand: we're Tennessee Vols, and we're gonna go. We're gonna lick our wounds for about a day. We're recording this on Sunday. That's over. Now it's time to come back. Well, hey, get ready, play football. It's just Georgia. They ain't that good.
We're gonna get back to work, baby. But yeah, so now we're not gonna follow up with the weekly pick'ems. Although actually, I did kind of forget about that. But your boy, I ended up winning, trying to chase old Daver down back.
I just want to point out you won with 6 correct, which is probably the lowest win of the year. It was a rough week on the picks, man.
Except for old Drewski, baby.
It's still a rough week. You still missed 4. I mean, that's not really winning numbers.
Hey, you can trash talk all you want, Mr. Fourth
I'm
place.
not trash talking. I'm just saying it was a tough week. These games are crazy, man.
It was a crazy, beautiful, awesome week.
Did you expect Kansas and Oklahoma State both to lose?
I picked Kansas, and then I think I did pick Oklahoma State to lose, if I'm not mistaken. Was that one of the pick'ems?
You did. Yo, you did pick UCF. You did. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You didn't expect to win 45-3, though, did you? I mean,
no. I did also change my pick. I had San Jose State, and I actually changed it to Fresno State because I was like, man, that's hard to believe. But I'm trying to chase old Daver down. Daver Down's in first, but Daver Down's 73-37. I'm 69-41. So if you want to play weekly pick'ems, there's still a few weeks left, but www.bigdrewski.com. But that's all I got. Casper, you got any final parting words?
Fire them up, boys. Play Georgia. Give them everything we got. Leave it all on the field. We'll see y'all Friday. Be sure to listen in.
I bet you didn't buy them tickets, ain't you?
Huh?
I bet you're glad you didn't buy them Georgia tickets.
I was actually just looking at them. If you want to be completely honest with you, the wife is actually. I was texting her. She's like, "Do you want to go to the Georgia game?" And I'm like,
They're going to be a whole lot cheaper to those of you if you're upset about all the money you lost. We'll take the free tickets.
It looks like they're about $250 a pop right now. It's the cheapest you get on StubHub.
They've come down a little bit.
They've come down. They were about $500. So we'll see.
But yeah. We're going to go ahead and head on out. If you haven't already, click like, click subscribe. We're going to break down the games in the other podcast, the CFB Top 25. Until next time, baby, we are the Little Tangerine Show, and we are out. Peace. Mm-hmm.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere. This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.